Hey guys, so oh no, not another video on waking up early for your morning routine to try and get things right. Well, okay, yes and no. I have never woken up early until now when my kids are teenagers. So no, I'm not going to tell you to wake up at 5 a.m. to try and make your morning start off right. But I am going to have you think about your morning routine because the way you start your morning sets your entire day into what it's going to be. So it is really, really important. And I'm actually going to do a different video that actually goes through, I'm going to do one that goes through my morning routine and then just some things that we did that were really practical to kind of like set things differently in the morning because I mean, when everybody's screaming at each other and you're struggling to get out of the house, it's so stressful. You guys know this, right? I always laugh because our worst morning was always Sunday morning. So we are like getting all upset at each other and then we're going and putting on a happy face at church. And so those were some of our worst mornings, was Sunday mornings, because we have the entire family to get ready, not just me and the kids. Me and the kids had our routines and the things that we did. They knew we left at a certain time. If they didn't have something done, well, too bad. We were leaving. So it's always different when you have the entire family getting ready. But here's a couple of things that I want you to think of. The very first thing is try to center yourself in the morning. That doesn't mean you have to wake up at 5 a.m. before your entire family, because let's face it, I've heard moms say that like if they wake up, it's like their kid has the sixth sense of like, ooh, mom's awake. She could just open her eyes in bed and kids are like, ooh, mom's awake. I should go in there. So that might not work for you. So waking up early may not be the thing. But here's one thing I would encourage you to do right off the bat. Do not check your social media, your email, any of that stuff. Do not let that be the first thing you do. And here's why. Let's face it, especially right now, you can be set into such a negative place in your morning. You could read a bad political post that somebody puts. You could see some bad news. I mean, there's just so much that could happen. Somebody could just put something completely weird on there and throw your day completely off. That has happened to me. I used to sit, that would be the first thing I would do. My phone was right next to my bed. It was charging. So what would I do? I'd grab my phone and look at everything and start scrolling. And before I know it, not only am I kind of frustrated and just like, but also so much time has gone by. It is a time sucker. We all know this. You could just spend half an hour to 40 minutes and you're like, crap, I got to get up and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So you've already started your day off stressed out. Don't check your social media first thing, guys. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. The next thing I would tell you to do is wake up. Wake up fully, whatever that takes for you. Is it a couple of cups of coffee? Is that a shower? Don't start your day off just sledging around. I know, believe me, as someone who struggles from depression and especially winter, what do they call that? The seasonal, whatever you want to call it, depression. I definitely struggle with that. I have to wake up 100%. And so for me, sometimes that's a shower. Like if I am super duper tired, I hate to do it because it's so cold and I also suffer from like chronic coldness. But I might have to take a shower to wake myself up. It might be a couple cups of coffee. For me, actually, though, what I do is I just get fully ready. I get up, and even if I'm really just super tired, that's just a jeans and t-shirt and my go-to jewelry and maybe a sweater. Like I keep a super simple, almost uniform. And so then I just get ready. So get fully ready. So wake up, make sure you're awake, and then get fully ready. Have a routine. I just pretty much said this, but have a routine that's really quick. Like my routine, if I am super tired, I can make it happen in 15 minutes tops. Because as I just said, I have a super fast getting ready, like almost uniform. So that means ponytail with a headband, or for me, like wearing it just down because I have curly hair. So it's very forgiving, thank goodness. And then as far as makeup, it is concealer, blush, mascara, lip gloss. That's it. If I am really tired, that's all I'm going to put on. Then I have jeans and a t-shirt and either a structured jacket. I have a bunch of structured jackets or a sweater. And sometimes I might throw on a scarf. And then I have my go-to jewelry, stuff like this. Like I have a bunch of stuff that's similar to this. It always looks good. It's cute. And yeah, and I could show you a whole nother video on how I arrange my jewelry so it's by color. So that makes it even easier to just grab and go. And so get ready. And here's the beautiful thing about that. If you're fully ready, whatever your day brings, if that's going to work, if that's, a coffee date with a friend that's last minute, whatever it is, or an emergency or running errands, you're just ready. You feel good about yourself. When I wear sweats and just like slump around, I'm not awake, all of that, I haven't gotten myself ready, I just don't feel the same. I mean, let's face it. And even if you are in sweats, that's okay. But get to a place where you feel good. You feel awake. You feel good. You feel ready to go. And the last thing I will tell you is to center yourself. This can be many things for many different people. It could just be putting on uplifting music as you get ready. It could be listening to a great podcast. I suggest something uplifting, not the news, not, something that's just going to put you down, because again, you're trying to wake up and this is going to set your entire day. This is why you do not do social media first thing in the morning, as I'm talking to you first thing in the morning, social media. But turn on something uplifting. And then if you're a believer, go to like a Bible verse, just one verse. In fact, that's all I'm doing right now. I am just doing the Bible verse of the day. I open up my Bible app. I look at my Bible verse. That's it. You can do a devotional if you want, but that's all I have time for at the moment. That's what I am doing. So, or you can look at a quote of the day. Either one. This will help you to just put your day in the right place. And there's this thing that us Christians do. It's called SOAP. And if you have time, this is a big key. I don't want you to feel perfectionist about this, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, I have to do this to center myself. No, if you have time, sit down with a journal. And this journal can be anything. It can be, for me, a lot of times they start out as like a blessing journal. I love writing down my blessings, the things that I have been grateful for, the things that have happened in my life, because then I keep those and it's so fun to go back and look at where I was a long time ago. Sometimes those turn into prayer journals for me. And sometimes, like I said, going back to this SOAP thing that some of us Christians do sometimes, it means scripture, observation, application, and prayer. So even if you're not a believer, it's 9 o'clock. That helps me keep myself going. So even if you're not a believer, you can do this with a quote. You could do a quote, observation, application, and maybe like a prayer or meditation thought. And this is something that can just help you start your day off. And again, I want to stress that this is if you have time. If you do not, reading that quote or that scripture or that funny meme even may be all that you can fit in, and that's okay. Oh, I got puppies visiting, by the way, so you'll hear them barking at like everything. I'm surprised we've gotten this far without them barking. Got all kinds. So then just get on with your day. Those are like the 3 things. Wake up, get yourself ready, center yourself. This does not have to be a full-on hour routine. And when my kids were little, there was no way I could fit in this amount of time. And quite frankly, I just didn't. But I did notice that if I got on social media or just didn't do something to make the morning more uplifting, our entire day was set on course for not being good, for disaster, really. So I want you to start small. Pick one thing that you could do in the morning. Is that turning on music as soon as you get up? Is that jumping in the shower? Is that just getting out of bed and getting ready fully? Whatever that is, do that. One thing. Could you put, your favorite quote on the mirror so that you could see it every single morning when you get up? I don't even care if you write it in, dry erase marker on the mirror, on a card, whatever you need to do to just put that in front of your face every single morning to get you started off right. You can also involve your kids if you need to. They love doing stuff like this. They may not know it and they may fight it and bucket it first, but they actually really enjoy doing these kinds of things. And I would say just do that if it's absolutely necessary. Like if you wake up and your child is like right there in your face, so you have absolutely no time to yourself, then yeah, involve them in it. Say, hey, mommy's gonna read this quote real quick. You wanna read it with me? What did that make you think about? Or whatever, that kind of a thing. And so maybe it's right before you step your foot out of the bed. You open up your phone, not to social media, but to a good quote. So I want you to let go of perfectionism. This video is not to give you these like 3 steps that you absolutely have to do. It is just to have you think about what you do with your morning. How do you start it out? Set your morning off right. Set your day off right. So the way that you set your day off could make a difference for you, and it can also make a huge difference for your family. So I do have another video where I'm going to go through my morning routine and what I do. It's super simple. I will go through the simplest one. I will even put on eye makeup for you, and my routine takes about 5 minutes for makeup. Not even 5 minutes for getting dressed. I will not lie. I am pretty simple. And I'm also going to share with you in another video some things that were practical that we did with our kids. We might be a little bit old-fashioned because I do not put up with a whole lot with my kids in the morning because I don't like my day to be ruined either. They had set times, they had set things they had to do, and if they didn't, they had their own personal natural consequences. You don't want to put on a coat? That's fine. It's 60 degrees out. You're going to be cold. And I'm not bringing one to you later. I mean, that may seem really old-fashioned, but they only do it one time. And then they realize, oh, I should take a coat. And I don't even have to remind them after that. So there are definitely some things that we've done that were very practical. I will share that in a completely different video. This one, I just want you to think about centering yourself in your morning so that you can set your day off right. All right, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.